is the story of a 6-year, low-budget, around-the-world trip. Actually, it was no budget because most of the time I was broke. And it happened a long time ago, before the internet connected us all 24/7, which means all the time. There was no email, no Skype, there was no GPS. It was possible to be disconnected and lost. It was a journey that's no longer possible. I am an American. This is my home. But the trip started in Florida, and I was aboard a beautiful blue yacht, Bibiana. And for 3 months, we sailed around the Caribbean. After 3 months in the Caribbean, we crossed the Panama Canal and entered the Pacific Ocean. We visited beautiful islands and we saw whales and fish. We had good weather and bad weather and big waves.
Excuse me,
Yes?
did you say big waves?
Yes. There were very big waves.
Was there a storm?
Yes, there was a big and scary storm.
Aren't you going to tell us about it?
Well, I'm going to make more videos and I'll give the details later. That's my plan.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that.
Well, thanks. So tell me, what's your name?
My name is Earl.
Earl? Nice to meet you, Earl. But I'll see you later, okay?
Bye-bye.
A year after leaving Florida, we reached Sydney. And what a beautiful city, with beaches and beautiful architecture and friendly people. I had a great time. But after a year, I left. I crossed the outback, went through Southeast Asia, and went to Bangkok, Thailand. When I left Sydney, I thought I had enough money to get to Europe. I was wrong. I arrived in Bangkok broke again. Luckily, I got a job teaching English. It was the first time I did it. I was very nervous the first day, but I found out I liked it. Years later, after I returned home, I remembered my experience in Bangkok and became a teacher. But that's a different story. After 10 months in Bangkok, I went to India, and it's a fascinating country with delicious food and interesting culture. I spent 6 months there, but I got sick. I got hepatitis, so I went to Nepal to get better. After a month in Nepal, I went to Europe. I went through Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, and Turkey, and I got sicker. I got malaria. So when I arrived in Kiel, Germany, I was sick and broke.
Wait a minute.
Yes, Earl.
Did you say you had hepatitis and malaria?
That's what I said.
You could have died.
Well, that's what the German doctor said, too.
That is amazing. Are you going to tell us about it?
Well, I'll tell you about this in later videos.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, I'll go. Bye-bye.
I spent a year in Kiel. I went to the doctor, so I got healthy, and I had a job, so I saved money, and I went traveling again. I traveled through Europe, and I went down to Egypt. I spent 1 month in Egypt, and I visited all the famous and interesting sites. Then I went to Israel, a fascinating country with incredible history and interesting food. I spent 6 months in Israel. I lived cheaply, but I ran out of money again. So I went back to Germany. I went to Trockau. I spent a year. I worked and I saved just enough money to fly to New York. From New York, I hitchhiked home. It had been over 6 years since I was home, so it felt very good to fall asleep on my mother's couch. As I told Earl, there will be more videos. I hope you will join me. In the meantime, I suggest you go to Ted Auspus's YouTube site and listen to his music. Bye for now.